Whenever I get a new phone, I really love to play around with customizing the software side of it, just so that it feels kind of like a fresh start on the new phone. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how I got my current home screen setup that I have, so what apps I use, widgets, all that, and just how you can possibly get a setup like this yourself. And I'm going to be mentioning a few apps, wallpapers, app icon packs, all that, and I will have everything linked in the description if you're interested in getting any of the things for yourself for your iPhone setup. But okay, let's get into how I set up my iPhone 17 Pro. For my wallpaper, I just chose this. It's like a sun gradient type of wallpaper. I've had this on my phone for a while. I really like the look of it. I get a lot of questions on where I got this wallpaper from. I got it from a user on X who posts wallpapers, so it's completely free. I will have it linked if you want to get it for yourself. As for the clock on my lock screen, I also made it so that it's the elongated version of the clock. I really love the look of this on iOS 26, so I just did that for my lock screen. Then it was time to add widgets and app icons to my home screen, and all of the decorative widgets that you see here are from an app called MD Widgets. Sadly, it's not a free app, but it's not very expensive, so if you're interested in getting the same look on your phone, that is the app that I'm going to be using for my widgets. So the first widget is called Clock on the MD Widgets app, but it's the version where you can set it to display the date. So I just went ahead and customized this to my liking. So I just chose the colors that I wanted, also the fonts, and then just the little characters that they put there, the little cloud and heart icons. I just edited all of that. It does show you a little preview of what it will look like on your home screen. So that is what I did for my first widget. Now, before I continue on, if you're wondering how I got my widget's background to match my wallpaper, that is a feature built into the MD Widgets app. You just go to settings and then set blur background for widgets. And here you're gonna go ahead and upload your wallpaper. How you're gonna do that is you're gonna first go to your home screen, hold down until it goes into the editing mode, and then swipe all the way to the right until you're on a page that has no app icons or anything, and take a screenshot. And then you're gonna upload that screenshot into this section in the MD Widgets app. So now it's gonna work off of that image whenever it shows you a preview of your widgets. I really like how it looks when I have my wallpaper match my widgets. I just think it looks more part of the UI. Then for an actual clock widget, I also use the clock widget on MD Widgets. I just used this version. And again, I just styled it to get the look that I wanted. I kind of worked off of the colors that was on my wallpaper for all of these widgets. And then the last decorative widget that I added in from MD Widgets is the iBoard widget. This gives you a preview of some things on your phone, like the weather, the battery status of your phone, a little quick view of what's in your calendar for the day, all in this really cute widget. So I went ahead and set that up, and I tried to keep the colors pretty minimal just because I knew the background was the same as my wallpaper, so I didn't want it to be too busy. Then of course I need to add some apps to my home screen, and the apps that I added here are all custom app icons. I made them using the Shortcuts app on my phone. I have a whole video going in depth on how to create custom app icons on iOS 26, which I will have linked if you're interested in checking that out. But I just added most of the apps that I use frequently on my home screen. I never have too many apps on my home screen. If I'm looking for something in particular, I just usually use the drop-down search and find an app that way. It's just become kind of like a habit, so this is just some of my basic, most used apps on my home screen. Also, the app icons that I'm using are from my app icon pack. It's completely free. I will have it linked in the description if you want to get it for yourself. I'm currently working on a version that works better with iOS 26, but it's still a work in progress, since if you didn't know, custom app icons now also work with customization settings within iOS 26, so you can set it to dark mode and all that. But not all the app icons in my pack are compatible yet, so I'm working on that for you guys. Then something I also decided to do, since I like my home screen to be functional as well as cute, I added in some more widgets in stacks on top of my decorative widgets. So in the stack with my first widget, I added in an Apple Calendar widget just so that I can quickly reach for that or just view whatever I have going on in a particular day right from my home screen, and I can quickly hide it again. So that's the first stack. And then with the bottom widget, I added in a reminders widget just so that I can quickly view my to-do list whenever I have one in reminders, and it's interactive, so I can tick it off right from my home screen and then I can just hide it again. So a really helpful widget as well. And then lastly, in a stack with my clock widget, I added in a focus switcher. Now I have a whole video going into depth on how you can create your own focus modes and focus switcher and all that, so I'll have that linked in the description if you want to check that out. So I'm not going to go into depth about that, but basically this just allows me to quickly switch to focus modes directly from my home screen. Since I only have 2 focus modes, this size worked perfectly to just quickly switch between them. So I'm just going to quickly quickly show you also just the setup that I have for each focus mode. So switching to my reading focus, this is the wallpaper that I have set up for it. I found it off of Pinterest. Again, it will be linked in the description. I just like the look of it for reading, and I actually have all my app icons here set to dark mode, so you can see my custom app icons are also set to dark mode. But for my reading focus setup, I have here just the regular clock app widget, and that is in a stack with the Fable app, which is an app where you can track the books that you're currently reading and see reviews of other people. So it's a really nice app, so I have that here in a stack. And then I just have the Kindle widget here as well. Then again, I have a focus switcher, and this just allows me to quickly switch to either a different focus like my work focus, or if I click on live, it will turn off all my focus modes and go back to my default home screen. That is also in a stack with a Pinterest widget, so if I just don't want to see the focus switcher and I just want something cute on the reading focus, then I can just view the Pinterest widget here. And as for the apps that I have in my reading focus, I just have the Libby app, which allows you to borrow ebooks from your library. I have a little shortcut to my reading journal in GoodNotes. I have the Goodreads app, and then I have the Kindle app here as well. So that's the reading focus. And then switching to the work focus, this is the wallpaper that I have for that. Again, it will be linked in the description. And as for the widgets and app icons that I have here, the clock widget that I have here is called Clock Phone. And I actually have this here because I like to use this app on my desk setup whenever I just want to display a cute clock. This is a really nice app for that. I have it set up as a transparent widget so that it shows my background, which you can set up in the app. Right now it has these weird white borders. I think it's because of the latest update and they just haven't updated it, so I hope that gets fixed soon so it just kind of matches more. But that is the clock widget that I have here. And then again, I have a focus switcher widget, and that is in a stack with the structured app, which is a great app if you want to time block your day. So it's a widget for that app, and also the calendar widget, which is just really nice to see in my work focus. And then as for the apps that I have here, I just have Arc Browser, which is my web browser of choice, the GoodNotes app, Spark, which is my email app of choice, and then YouTube Studio. So those are my focus modes and what I have set up for those. And then we can go back to my main home screen setup. Also, if you're curious why my app icons and widgets don't have the titles beneath them, that's because I have it set to large app icons. If you don't know how to get that, you just go into the editing mode on your phone, go to edit and customize, and then you will see this little icon that has a large and a smaller block. So you can quickly switch between having smaller icons or larger icons using that little switcher here. I just really like the minimal look of not having any labels beneath my apps. But that is my complete home screen setup and transformation, if you want to call it that. If you're interested in anything that I mentioned in this video, like I said, it will be linked in the description. I really love to just get like a nice refresh for my new phone, so this is really fun to do. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!